large industrial base and with its central location, of course, has a key advantage. And there, for us, we see simply Uzbekistan and Central Asia joining this set of norms and values as being beneficial to us, because we see that as being crucial to strengthen the transparency of world trade and the way things are being done, and we want Uzbekistan to be a strong partner for us in this. Thank you.
Remains me to thank you very much for your participation, for your practical insights, for your guidance, and I suggest we move for the photo session. As part of my obligation, my duty, I will introduce then the next roundtable. That would be the session on integration of Uzbekistan into global supply chains and state support for export opportunities. Vera Bell will be the moderator of this session. Welcome, Vera.
Nice to meet you. We're not starting? Or
yeah, because they asked to not to. Huh? Okay, can we start, please? Okay. Good morning, distinguished guests, esteemed panelists, ladies and gentlemen. It's a true pleasure to welcome you at this session. Please, may I invite here our panelists today. And the first one is Dilshod Rasulov, the Deputy Chairman of Uzbekistan Chamber of Commerce. Thank you very much for joining us today. Our next panelist is Sirajuddin Saliyev, the Head of Strategic Transformation and Global Reporting at ACFA Group. Thank you, Sirajuddin. Our next panelist is Aziz Akhrarov, the General Representative of Young One Uzbekistan. Our next panelist, please welcome her very greatly, because she is the first woman today to be a panelist, Sara Rinaldi, Head of Unit, Middle East Central Asia DG International Partnership, European Commission. Thank you, Sara. And Thomas Mandry, partner of Schneider Group. Thank you. Please applaud. Okay, please may I have our presentation. Thank you. To make our session relevant, first, I would like to talk 5 minutes about Uzbekistan's new journey and the role that geography plays in it. And after you see it, maybe as Pierre Paul mentioned, you will make a decision to stay in this country if this is your first visit. So let's talk about Uzbekistan's new journey. We are here today to talk about something big, something that has the power to transform not just companies, but the entire nation, as you heard from our previous sessions. Uzbekistan is on the verge of monumental shift. The question is, how do we strategically position ourselves to integrate into global supply chains in a way that benefits everyone, from the smallest business to the governments? This is not just about joining the global market. It's about rewriting the rules, as Abdul Hamid mentioned today. Situated right at the crossroads of Asia and Uzbekistan, or of Asia and Europe, Uzbekistan is placed to become a central link in this supply chain. Now, apologies for the quality of this map, because it's very old. It was taken from old British history book. For centuries, Uzbekistan has been the crossroads of global trade, its cities like Samarkand and Bukhara thriving as key hubs of ancient silk roads. These trade routes not only facilitated the exchange of goods like silk and spices, but also fostered the flow of knowledge, culture, and innovation between East and West. But geography is a destiny, and innovation and leadership only can turn it into potential. Global trade today is about connection, opportunity, and mutual growth. It is not just moving products, it's building partnership across the borders. And as you know, great conversations come from the great minds. And we are incredibly fortunate today to be joined by our distinguished panel of visionaries, leaders, and experts, all here with one common goal: to unlock the vast potential that lies ahead for Uzbekistan. Please look at these individuals, and they not only understand where Uzbekistan is moving, but they see the goal, and they can tell you how to get there. The opportunities ahead, it's not just possibilities. They are real, and we all can build them together. So it's my pleasure today to introduce our visionaries and experts. And the first one is Dilshod Rasulov, Deputy Chairman of Uzbek Chamber of Commerce. The foundation of Uzbekistan's business landscape, the chamber empowers companies, opens doors to global trade, and champions Uzbekistan's place into the world. And Dilshod will tell us today how they do it. Next speaker today is Sirajuddin Saliyev, Head of Strategic and Transformation and Global Reporting at Akfa Group. And Sirajuddin plays the key role in Akfa Group transformation. Next one is Aziz Akhrarov. Sorry. This is the old one. But next one is Aziz Akhrarov. Sorry, we changed panelists last moment, but never mind. He is general representative of Young One Uzbekistan, Samarkand Apparel, and Bukhara Sportswear. And as I said, the only woman today, and may I ask you to applaud her again? Ms. Sara Rinaldi, Head of Unit Middle East Central Asia, DG International Partnership of European Commission. As Sarah's role there is to strengthen connections that bridge Europe and Central Asia closer together. Through her work, she supports Uzbekistan development on the global stage, creating partnership and fuel progress and open doors to new possibilities. And our last but not least panelist, Mr. Thomas Mandry, a partner of Schneider Group. Thomas helps for years, many of you know his company, navigate the complexities of doing business in Uzbekistan, and he understands all the challenges and advantages of Uzbekistan joining WTO and global supply chain. So we will discuss it all today in detail. And the main topic of today's session is what does it mean to integrate into global supply chains, and what does it mean for private and public sector. So let's start with Dilshot, and the first question to you today, which is, the Chamber plays a central role in shaping Uzbekistan's trade policy and supporting business growth. How do you see the Chamber facilitating Uzbekistan's entry into the global market, and what are the top priorities there?
Спасибо за вопрос. Если не возражаете, я буду говорить на русском языке. В первую очередь, уважаемые друзья, хотел бы поприветствовать вас от имени Торгово-промышленной палаты, от имени всего бизнес-сообщества, участников этого мероприятия, и поблагодарить организаторов этого мероприятия, господина Шайхова Айбека, за столь сложную работу и возможность обсудить самые злободневные вопросы. Но хотел бы отметить отца Алишера Шайхова, это отца Алишера Айбека, Шайхова Айбека, доктора Алишера Кинча Шайхова, который присутствует здесь, и в процессе своей деятельности он внес огромный вклад в развитие Узбекистана со странами Евросоюза. Я волнуюсь.
I think that he deserves the applause. Because he is the former chairman of the Uzbek Chamber.
Я сейчас даже говоря про Алишера Кинча немножко волнуюсь, потому что он наш учитель, он наш наставник, он наш гуру, действительно большой профессионал. Мы немножко отвлеклись. Ну, уважаемые друзья, действительно вопрос очень актуальный. Говоря о глобальной цепочке поставок, я бы сказал, что компания, которая имеет нормально выстроенную цепочку поставок, имеет реальное конкурентное преимущество, независимо от того, какая это компания, какой это рынок или какая сфера промышленности. Мы знаем, что правильно выстроенная маркетинговая политика, она включает в себя и глобальную систему поставок, потому что в конечном итоге это влияет на себестоимость продукции, что является основным фактом продвижения товаров на экспорт. Теперь, что касается Узбекистана. Как вы предварительно показали здесь на слайдах, да, Узбекистан находится в центре Центральноазиатского региона. Географическое расположение Узбекистана, оно уникально. То есть весь грузопоток, который следует из стран Юго-Восточной Азии, из стран Персидского залива в сторону других стран Центральной Азии и Европейского Союза, он следует через Узбекистан. Но, с другой стороны, Узбекистан это так называемый double country. Вы знаете, что в мире всего лишь две таких страны, которые относятся именно к этой категории. То есть выход к морю осуществляется через две страны. Это действительно проблема. И учитывая то, что Узбекистан достаточно развит в промышленном отношении, и основная задача, которая сейчас на сегодняшний день уделяется со стороны правительства, и особое внимание этому вопросу уделяет наш уважаемый президент, это продвижение наших товаров, местных товаров, производителей Узбекистана на внешние рынки. Что для этого делается? Сейчас, на сегодняшний день, именно торгово-промышленной палате Узбекистана уделяется особое внимание. В частности, значит, представлены огромные возможности для того, чтобы торгово-промышленная палата поддерживала именно промышленный сектор. Я бы хотел в этом смысле отметить те решения правительства, которые в этом году были приняты. В частности, создана компания по развитию торговли. Что это за компания, которая находится под торгово-промышленной палатой? В первую очередь, чтобы продвигать продукцию национальных производителей, созданы соответствующие условия. Первое условие – это то, что эта компания покрывает часть расходов, связанных с транспортировкой, до 50%. И учитывая то, что Узбекистан – это так называемый double country, вся перевозка грузов до других стран осуществляется транспортом, автотранспортом и железнодорожным транспортом, то есть это основные виды транспорта, которые дорогостоящие. Часть покрытия, возможности покрыть часть расходов – это достаточно существенный факт, который снижает себестоимость продукции. Это первое. Во-вторых, торгово-промышленная палата оказывает содействие по предэкспортному финансированию. То есть если компания ориентирована на выпуск продукции, ориентирована на экспорт, то торгово-промышленная палата осуществляет предэкспортное финансирование. То есть это дает возможность компаниям без отвлечения каких-то средств производить продукцию и возможность экспортировать. В-третьих, мы знаем, что для того, чтобы войти на рынок с какой-либо продукцией, если рассматривать страны Европейского Союза, то это требует определенных процедур. В частности, это связано с получением каких-то сертификатов на различные товары. А получение сертификатов связано с определенными расходами, и эти расходы достаточно существенные. И торгово-промышленная палата оказывает содействие в финансировании расходов, связанных с получением сертификатов. Но есть и ряд других направлений, которые в основном обеспечивают работу наших промышленных компаний и вопросов, связанных с продвижением на внешние рынки. Это создание торговых домов. Сейчас, в настоящее время, вот если с самого начала года посмотреть, торгово-промышленная палата открыла около 17 торговых домов в различных странах мира. Что есть торговые дома? То есть возможность нашим промышленным компаниям представлять свою продукцию в той или иной стране. Здесь полностью все расходы, связанные с доставкой товаров, с возможностью показать возможности наших товаров, берет на себя, расходы покрываются со стороны торгово-промышленной палаты. Это отправка представителей наших компаний на зарубежные выставочные ярмарочные мероприятия. То есть вот эти все расходы тоже покрываются со стороны торгово-промышленной палаты. И как факт, рост в статистике экспорта именно компаний, частных компаний, которые осуществляют производство, и эта продукция, произведенная продукция в основном ориентирована на экспорт. Я бы еще один хотел момент отметить, не могу не отметить, потому что, как в самом начале я сказал, что правительство Республики Узбекистан и особенности лично уважаемый президент Республики Узбекистан уделяет огромное внимание этому вопросу. И как основание то, что наш президент ежегодно встречается с промышленниками, с предпринимателями, где имеется возможность непосредственно обсудить наболевшие проблемы со стороны предпринимателей, высказать это все уважаемому президенту. И, соответственно, наше правительство, учитывая все вот эти вопросы и проблемы, принимает определенные решения касательно именно поддержки частного сектора. Вот
Спасибо большое.
Да. Время, да?
Да.
Да, извините, пожалуйста.
Да.
Я могу сказать очень много, да, действительно, эмоции переполняют. Вопрос очень актуальный, но действительно хочу заверить, что на сегодняшний день правительством уделяется огромное значение этому вопросу, и как следствие мы можем в конце года увидеть это все в цифровых показателях. Спасибо.
Спасибо большое. Вы своими словами подтвердили все инициативы, которые правительство уже предприняло для того, чтобы вхождение в ВТО было менее безболезненным для узбекского бизнеса. Спасибо большое. And the next panelist is Aziz Akhrarov, please. You are at the forefront of Uzbekistan's apparel industry with Young One. How is the industry evolving to meet global standards, and what does it mean for the Uzbekistan's economy?
Well, once again, thank you for inviting for that wonderful panel. and this event, which I would like to say that's very important in the developing the new Uzbekistan. And of course, it's an honor for me to represent our industry. It's quite a high responsibility. But take into account that Uzbekistan became already on the map of the global suppliers of the ready-made garment, not saying that the country was supplying only the raw materials before, but last 7-8 years, I could say even 5 years, we became as a sustainable and guaranteed supplier to the global brands. Personally, our company supplying nowadays to the well-known German brands in European Union, Engelbeck Strauss for more than 2 years. We're supplying to one of the very famous brand, the North Face, to the market of South Korea. We're now at the moment in development orders to United States. Well, the industry itself, it has developed a lot. Looking into the history, if we look back to 15 years ago or 20 years ago, the number of or amount of export which Uzbekistan was doing, and the amount of export of the textiles to the global world, to global market, nowadays it's 10 or 15 times more. And I would like to also underscore that the content of the export itself, now it's a more value-added product. Just before us, the previous panelist was saying about the cotton yarns. Now Uzbekistan becoming a consumer of cotton fiber itself and producing the cotton yarn and consume the cotton yarn inside of the Uzbekistan by manufacturing it to the fabrics, to the ready-made garment. And ready-made garment itself, it has more value added on it. And then it comes another stage. So Uzbekistan was a supplier, as a main supplier to the CIS countries, like our biggest markets, close neighborhood countries. However, supplying to European Union, supplying to the greatest economies of the world, it is the market with the more and higher value-added incomes. We experience it, we can compare, we can underscore it. And of course, the wise policy of the country leaders. I would like to thank our previous speaker that he mentioned several supportive measures of our government to the entrepreneurs. Of course, in terms of WTO entrances, it could be some little bit, you know, thing under the question, but at the stage of development of the industry, that was the most necessary thing. Saying that Uzbekistan double landlocked country, our logistic was the issue to go to that markets, and nowadays after being represented of this market, on these markets, I mean the EU or the far markets of the global supplies, now the buyers know Uzbekistan. Before, I don't know, maybe many of our citizens could say that when you go abroad and you say, where are you from? And you say Uzbekistan, there were little different words coming after that.
Yes,
But-
Stan.
Yes.
What does it mean, Stan?
The first that comes, it's Pakistan or it's Afghanistan. Well, it was a little bit complicated than to explain. Nowadays, I'm really honored, I'm proud of saying, I'm from Uzbekistan. And the first thing I'm saying, I'm from Central Asia. And the country leaders of our region, they mentioned that development should be together. Well, the industry itself, it did a lot of jump, but we are still has a target to go. It's just the beginning. Uzbekistan textile manufacturing or brand, not the brand, the garment manufacturing, it's just a baby. It's only 7 years old baby. It's not a 30 years old guy or comparing to the Bangladesh, Vietnam, China, or others. We're still on the way of the growing. And there is huge potential to grow. I believe the next 5 to 10 years, there'll be a huge jump because we are already known on that market. And this market is having huge potential. I recently, like 2 weeks ago, had a big delegation from well-known companies like Inditex, who came by themselves. Before we were going to these brand owners to the markets. But now one of the proof of my words is those buyers are coming themselves.
Thank you very much. There is a say that doing business is not just a sprint, it's running a marathon. So good luck in your running. And now you just heard our panelists from the public sector, from the private sector. And please, next one is Sarah. Sarah, the European Union has been a strong partner in Uzbekistan's development over the years. How do you see deeper partnership taking shape, and what's the role of international cooperation in it?
Thank you very much, Vera, for this question. Thank you very much to Eurus for inviting me in this panel. In your question, you mentioned international partnerships, and I would like to stress the fact that this is a plural. So as EU, of course, we work with the government of Uzbekistan, but for us it's also very important to work with the private sector present in Uzbekistan and with civil society and society at large. The plural also represents the fact that as EU, we are, of course, the EU institutions sitting in Brussels, but we have 27 member states, as well governments and private sector. And for us, more and more, it's even more important to work as a Team Europe, as we call it, to bring maybe a bit of complexity, but I believe as well much more richness also in the partnerships that we can offer. In your question, you mentioned as well deeper partnerships. And indeed, it has been mentioned already in the last years, there has been an increase in Central Asia's geopolitical importance. And this has led us to develop new sectors of economic cooperation with Uzbekistan and Central Asia. These new sectors are notably transport, with the development of the Trans-Caspian Transport Corridor and critical raw materials. And this comes in addition to already existing key sectors we were working together on before, such as water, energy, or agriculture. And this new agenda, this new economic agenda, is underpinned by what we call the Global Gateway Strategy. And now, as you may be aware, we are on the verge of having a new political leadership in the EU, and this strategy has been reconfirmed. And our president, Ursula von der Leyen.
Good news.
Sorry?
Good news.
Yes. Has also called the next commission as being an investment commission. So this is really also something that we're going to pursue outside the EU and in particular in Central Asia. And the Global Gateway is meant to go from startup to scale up. So we will continue even more in this direction to get more impact. And but we are going to do this, I think, this investment policy in the EU's own specific way, meaning we really want to pursue mutual interests. Of course, EU's interest should be there, but also the interests of our partner countries. It has already been mentioned with the Trans-Caspian Corridor that we see this project not only as a transit route, otherwise we would just choose, you know, the direct routes, roads in Kazakhstan, connecting East Asia to Europe. But no, this is really a regional integration project. We want all 5 Central Asian countries to find their interests and to find as well their interests within regional integration and not only also being transit countries. And there I make the parallel with transport as one of the key policies within the EU that contributed to EU's own integration. It was mentioned as well on the cooperation on critical raw materials. We are going to do it our own way, meaning not only coming to extract minerals and run away with them, but also work with Uzbek partners to help them adopt environmental, social, and governance standards. And so how to do this? Of course, we mobilize all our instruments of development cooperation, from technical assistance to support to investments through guarantees. to support the economic reforms of the Uzbek governments. We want to ensure transparency, regulatory clarity, level playing fields, protection for foreign investors, and we work with the Ministry of Justice, for example, to improve the regulatory framework and the justice system, the business climate, fight against corruption, etc. We also want to integrate sustainability to supply chains, so the green agenda is very much present throughout, and we support initiatives focused on renewable energy, waste reduction, eco-friendly practices, etc. We also want to foster digitalization, of course, and this goes with skills development of the population. We believe in investing in education and vocational training in order to develop the skilled workforce. So this is really the instruments we want to, that we are offering to Uzbekistan and on which we are working together. So in conclusion, the integration of Uzbekistan into global supply chains with EU collaboration presents a pathway for economic growth, sustainable growth, innovation and sustainability. As EU, we are mobilizing all our tools, as I said, but we cannot do it alone, and we need both European and Uzbek private companies on board with us.
Thank you. This sounds amazing, and the prospects are so grand. It's amazing what it can bring to our country. Thank you. And our next panelist, please, Alisher Sirajidinov. Alisher, you are leading one of Uzbekistan's manufacturing giants. What are the biggest challenges and opportunities for Uzbek businesses looking to integrate in the global supply chain?
First of all, thank you for the question and such opportunity to speak this here. First of all, I would think, it's an honor to speak today at such day, European Economic Days, organized by European Uzbek Association for Economic Cooperation. I'm confident that this event, for the first time in our country, will serve as a pivotal occasion to strengthen economic ties between the European Union and Uzbekistan. To begin, I would like to share the development story of AKFA Group, along with our company's vision and philosophy. So today, AKFA Group stands as diversified holding and leader in Uzbek industry with a proud 25-year legacy. A quarter century ago, AKFA was beginning its journey, specializing exclusively in the sale of plastic and aluminum profiles. Today, AKFA Group encompasses over 15 production complexes covering more than 350,000 square meters and is one of the largest private employers in the country, with approximately 8,000 highly qualified employees. Our facilities produce a diverse range of products, including translucent structures, facade systems, construction materials, comfort solutions, and components for the transport and energy sector. These products are successfully exported to 30 countries, including the United States and the European Union. Looking to the future, our ambition to grow into a geographically diversified conglomerate, active across 4 continents, symbolizing Uzbekistan's industrialization and delivering value to our customers and partners worldwide. One of the pillars of AKFA Group's philosophy is to increase our global presence year by year as we promote Made in Uzbekistan brand internationally. We are committed to demonstrating that Uzbekistan has rightful place in the global market for higher quality industrial products. Our philosophy is exemplified by Bankam, the largest aluminum extrusion plant in Central Asia, establishing with a strong focus on exports. Bankam has benefited significantly from the collaboration with the European partners, enabling to acquire advanced technology and equipment. I would like to acknowledge the expertise, the support of our European partners, particularly the Belgian expert Ben Elfrink, whose guidance has been instrumental to Bencam's development and rapid growth. Bencam's journey began in 2014 with the construction of our aluminium extrusion complex in Nawawi Free Economic Zone. Initially focused on Central Asia, we have since expanded into CIS countries and now serve markets in Europe, the United States, and Canada. Despite logistical challenges, Bencam's commitment to quality standards has allowed us to compete successfully in European market. To our support in international expansion, we actively participate in global industry exhibitions. Recently, Bencam proudly represents Uzbekistan at Aluminium 2024 in Düsseldorf, where we were engaged productive discussions with several leading European companies in the transport sector, laying the groundwork for the further cooperation. Our European office located in Vilnius is essential in supporting our presence in UAE market and serve as a key logistic base. To strengthen our position in Europe, we plan to open a similar office in Germany, which will enable faster deliveries and allow for more personalized approach to our European partners. Sustainable development remains a core priority for us. Environmental responsibility is essential in the aluminium industry, and we strive to meet and exceed global standards. Our facilities are equipped with solar panels optimized for energy efficiency and closely monitor CO2 emission. In alignment with our environmental policy, we produce low carbon products such as GreenX and ReGreenX aluminum profiles. The GreenX and the ReGreenX profiles are manufactured using low carbon raw materials, achieving CO2 emission of 9 kg and 5 kg respectively per kilogram of aluminum.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It sounds really amazing, and we know that you are one of the leaders of EU-Uzbekistan trade. Thank you. And now, please, Thomas, you have a deep understanding of Uzbekistan's regulatory and business environment. What needs to change to make Uzbekistan a global player in supply chains?
Thank you very much, Vera, for asking me this question. I'm very glad to be in this panel, and I feel highly honored to speak to you. Let me perhaps start with what Uzbekistan has achieved in the past as a basis for further perspectives, what could be changed. If I look at the map, Uzbekistan is located in Central Asia, which has the ability to connect the European Union with China, China with the European Union, China as a global player, as a global economic player, and I would say in a certain time in future, Uzbekistan has also the ability, as a former state of the Soviet Union, to create further connections with Russia. I say in a certain time in future when we have come to terms with Russia again. The Uzbek government has much done to improve the infrastructure. There are many projects on creation of roads, on creation of railroads, on improving of airways. And I could see this. I traveled some months ago from Samarkand to Tashkent, and I had the honor to go by this high-speed train, by the Afrosiab. It's made with equipment of Talgo, of a Spanish producer, and you can go in Uzbekistan with a velocity of 200 kilometers from Samarkand to Tashkent, which is a really quick journey. Second point is around water, agriculture, and then of course textile. We all know that in the past century, Uzbekistan was the stage of one of the, I would say, worst environmental catastrophes, as in Soviet times, cotton was grown in Central Asia, and the Soviets took for irrigation of the fields the water from the Amur Darya and the Sir Darya to irrigate the cotton fields. which at the end of the day led to both rivers no further bringing the water to the Aral Sea, which leads to the dying out of the Aral Sea. These times have changed. Uzbekistan is great in irrigating its fields, and I traveled to the Fergana Valley at the beginning of this year, and I could see the big fields, yeah, where crops, fruits, vegetables are grown. Yeah, it's a great impression when you're coming as a foreigner to these fields, and if you can see what has been achieved. So what should be improved? I would say Uzbekistan does great in creating a basis for public-private partnerships, because infrastructure projects are projects which should be open to the public. This should not be something which is open only to a certain circle of persons, but it should be something which is public. Therefore, public-private partnerships, I think, are the right way to do it. And I have seen in the list of projects, there are also lists for irrigation projects. That's a good way to do it. But Uzbekistan should not stop there. It is very important to attract private investors to Uzbekistan. And it's not only sufficient just to give the basis for public-private partnerships and to, I would say, to create certain projects. Uzbekistan should further continue to improve the environment for investors. So investors should be attracted. They should like to come to Uzbekistan. I like it to come to Uzbekistan because Uzbekistan is a great country. But also, it must be a good country for investors. And there's much to, I would say, much to improve. I'm a lawyer. I'm working with private investors to Uzbekistan, and I can say the legal environment has much improved in the past, but there are still certain fields which can be further improved. Yeah? We need a step-by framework. For example, for the acquisition of real estate. We have to know who's the owner of real estate. We have to be sure regarding the sale and purchase agreements, the registration, and so on. Taxation is an issue. We have rather low tax rates in Uzbekistan, but that's not all. We also must have the trust into the tax authorities, that the tax authorities treat me well and reasonably, and they're not only looking at the budget of Uzbekistan, but also on acting reasonably towards the taxpayer. And yeah, improvement also means, of course, the practice of the Uzbek authorities, yeah, the practice of the administration, the practice of the tax authorities, the practice of the courts is also something which should be foreseeable for an investor. And please, I do not want to offend my Uzbek friends, but there is still space for improvement, and that's, I think, where we should take any efforts in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Today we heard, yes, thank you. Great opinions, great minds, and I hope we still have representatives of the government in the audience. So please, very shortly, because yes, we are running out of time, but still we want this session to be a bit more interactive. Please, one thing for 10 seconds from each of you. What is one thing Uzbekistan must do, not should do, must do in 2025 to secure its place in global supply chains? Please, let's begin.
Спасибо за вопрос. То, что мы обязаны сделать, если я правильно понял вопрос, мы уже делаем. Сам факт того, что правительство уделяет большое внимание развитию частного сектора, промышленного сектора и вопросов, связанных с выходом на мировые рынки нашей продукции, продукции наших производителей, это основная наша задача, которая поставлена и на этот год, и на следующие годы.
Спасибо большое. Мы будем коротко.
Спасибо.
Спасибо. Азиз, пожалуйста.
Yes, 10 seconds is impossible, actually. Well,
one thing.
Yeah,
it could be one word.
One thing. Keep confident this vector of development. There are a lot of opportunities created already, and we need to confidently keep going at this way, not stopping and not reducing the speed.
Thank you, Sarah. You next.
Yes, maybe I would like to also encourage our Uzbek friends to continue opening up, modernizing, digitalizing, domestically, of course, but also tapping the potential of Central Asia as a market, but also as a political cooperation area. And as European friends, we are ready to stand by to help with our specific win-win offer and our specific expertise.
Thank you. Alicia, you next.
Appreciate for the question. I think that we should go further on green. I mean, we already use the water recycled basis, and we should keep going on this stream.
Thank you. Thomas, you.
Well, I would say focus further on the attraction of private investors and focus on further improving the legal and the tax system.
Thank you very much. I hope somebody making the notes. Thank you very much. But our audience today was very patient, and we suggest that very shortly again, you can ask the question to Sarah and to Thomas. Please, who have one question to each of our panelists? Do you have questions? Okay, if not, then you can discuss your remarks, your ideas over the coffee break. And now I want to say big thank you to everyone, to our panelists, to the audience. And I invite everyone for the, for the photo. Okay, and now please, can we invite everyone for the coffee break, which will last 20 minutes. Thank you. Some speakers changed the last moment yesterday night, so it was like kind of crazy. Thank you.
Razva.